You know, in Formula One, the battles you see on track on a Sunday, that's really only half the story. The other half is this hidden war, fought in the fine print of the rulebook. We're going to dive into how the sport's governing body, the FIA, just slammed the door on a massive engine loophole for the 2026 season, a brilliant move they made before a single car ever even turned a wheel.
Right, so there's this classic saying in the F1 paddock, and look, it's not really about cheating in the way you might think. It's about a mindset. It's about pushing every single rule to its absolute breaking point, finding those gray areas, and twisting every word to find an advantage nobody else has even thought of.
And that exact mindset creates this constant, fascinating game of cat and mouse. On one side, you've got the teams with hundreds of the smartest engineers in the world whose entire job is to read between the lines and find a loophole. And on the other side, you've got the FIA, trying to write rules that are so airtight, so perfect, that there are no loopholes to find.
It is literally a high-stakes chess match. Every new regulation is a move by the rulemakers, and the second it's published, the teams are instantly probing it for weaknesses, looking for any possible way to gain an edge. This whole game isn't just about building the fastest car, it's about building the cleverest car.
Okay, so let's jump to 2026, which is shaping up to be a massive reset for Formula One. We're talking a completely new set of regulations, a totally clean slate. And for the teams, well, that's a golden opportunity. A brand new rulebook is a brand new battleground to go hunting for those clever little advantages. So, what's actually changing? Well, pretty much the whole shebang. We're getting totally new power units, a big switch to 100% sustainable fuels, and crucially, a completely different way of measuring how much fuel the engine can use. And that third point, that's where our story really gets juicy.
So up until now, F1 has limited fuel by its mass, basically its weight, 100 kilograms per hour. But from 2026, they're switching to a limit based on energy, 3,000 megajoules per hour. Think of it like this. Instead of measuring how much fuel you're pouring, you're measuring how big the explosion is. It's a huge technical shift, and any big change, well, that's where you find opportunities.
So the big question is, how do you actually police this new energy limit? And if you're a team, you're asking, where's the weak spot? Where can we play? The answer, it turns out, lies in one single mandatory piece of tech that's going to be on every single car. And here it is. This is the device at the absolute heart of it all, the fuel flow meter. It's a super fancy ultrasonic sensor that measures exactly how much energy is going to the engine. That data goes straight to the teams and the FIA at the same time, so its accuracy has to be, perfect. The whole system relies on it. Now, this thing is a seriously sophisticated piece of kit. So if you're one of those clever engineers, the first question that pops into your head is, okay, how could we influence this thing's readings? How could we make it think less energy is flowing than there actually is? Because if you can do that, you've got a secret power boost.
And the answer, at least in theory, was all about temperature. See, like a lot of sensitive electronics, its accuracy could potentially be thrown off by heating it up, or more likely, chilling it way down. If a team could figure out a sneaky way to manipulate the meter's temperature, they might just be able to trick it into under-reading the energy flow, sneaking more power to the engine completely undetected.
But here's the brilliant part. The FIA was already one step ahead. They clearly knew that the teams would be poking around this exact area. So before this little regulation war could even begin on the track, they made a preemptive strike in the rulebook to shut the whole idea down. And this slide right here, this is the whole chess match in a single image. Just look closely at the wording. The old draft of the rule forbade any intentional chilling, but the new rule, it forbids anything the purpose of which is to change the temperature. That tiny change from intentional to purpose is the checkmate.
So why does that one word matter so much? Because removing intentional closes the gray area that the teams live in. You could just imagine a team building a cooling system for, say, a nearby computer, and then arguing, oh, the fact that it also chills the fuel flow meter, that's a completely unintentional, but, very helpful side effect. This new wording makes that argument completely impossible. If the purpose of your gadget is to change the temperature, it's illegal. End of story.
And look, this one small change tells us so much about the bigger picture for 2026. This isn't just about some fuel meter. It's the FIA sending a crystal clear signal about how this new era of Formula One is going to be run. So, what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, it means the 2026 battle is already well underway. It shows us the FIA is playing offense, trying to patch up holes in the rules before the teams can even find them.
And most importantly, it proves that the real war isn't just fought on the racetrack. It's being fought right now, over every single word and comma in that rulebook, on computers and design offices all over the world.
The FIA has slammed this particular door shut, for sure. But the 2026 regulations have hundreds and hundreds of pages of new, complex rules. And you can bet that somewhere, buried deep in all that text, the world's best engineers are hunting for the next gray area, the next clever interpretation. The only question is, what are they going to find?